I now hand the conference over to Mr. Abhijit Mitra from ICICI Securities Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen, and good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all the participants joining in. We have with us today CMD of Mr. Dhatu Nigam Limited, Mr. Sanjay Kumar Jha, to discuss Q4 FY21 results. After initial remarks, we'll open it up for Q&A. So without further ado, over to you, Mr. Jha.
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning. I don't know, the good evening also. Somebody must be joining from the overseas. So friends, it gives me immense pleasure to talk to you after announcing our annual results. And I am very pleased to say that in spite of, as you know, a lot of restrictions, a lot of interruptions in our operations due to COVID, right from in first quarter, then some disruption coming in the second, third quarter also. Your company has done a fantastic performance, and for this, I really congratulate all my investors, stakeholders, as well as our very dedicated Midhanians. It was not possible because of your support, and this has been reflected that in spite of this pandemic, this company has given a sales growth of more than 14%. Also, we had a very good increase, I say, in operating profit. It has almost gone beyond 24%. We also had a best ever PBT. So all these results definitely reflects that this company has done a wonderful job. And coming to that, so this year we have also declared, Board of Directors has declared the dividend of 31.32% of PAT, and is highest again by this company. And if you see our financial results, our lot of savings has been done in the raw material consumption because of various technological changes in our process that has given us a good advantage of raw material side, and it has also saved a lot of foreign exchange for this country, because you know that all raw materials which we consume, majority of part of that we are importing. So any saving on that part, those part areas, is definitely being reflected in the savings by the company and of course the import. So, and in addition to those areas whatever I have mentioned, we have also focused very good, means we have got a very good result in area of export. Because you know the export was a big challenge during this COVID time, because the entire globe was affected. In spite of that, I'll say that we have done a good, if you see in terms of percentage, it has gone to 86-89% higher, but it has doubled from around 10 crores from the previous year to 19 crores this year. So, and you know that there is a lot of restrictions on traveling. Nobody has traveled. Nobody is just whatever we have managed. It was through our virtual communication, and that has and then converting into the orders and then getting the confidence from the customer, overseas customer, was a big challenge. So I really again compliment the entire Midhani team for doing such a wonderful job. In this process, we have developed number of new products, which is going to give Midhani a good leverage in the future also. And one example I'll tell you about one RHA RHA steel, it is called rolled and homogenization armor steel, which is being used for the missile penetration test. That steel was invariably getting imported earlier, and because of the Ministry of Defense mandate to go for Atmanirbhar in defense production, has really helped us in the nation of these products, which includes RHA steel for missile, which is used for using the missile testing. We also made a very good breakthrough in making the titanium slab, which is being used for going for AMCA project, which is the Advanced Multi-Combat Aircraft, Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, which is being developed by DRDO. We also made some progress in developing some superalloys, which finds the application in strategic areas. We also made a process development for a grade called pneumonic equivalent to that, it's called Superni 115, which is being used for turbine blade application. Adhru disc, as I have told earlier also, in our developments. This year we have completed the entire supply. Now we are expected to get the new orders for those requirements, which is being used for overhauling or replacing these components for aero engines. So it is called high pressure compressor disc, and it is the first time India has developed that type of product, and it is a complete imported substitute. So like that, there are a number of first is there in this period, and I am sure that with satisfaction of customer application, Mihani is going to have further association in the projects where these developed products are getting used, and we'll be discussing with you and telling you as we progress in those areas. This year has been very good for defense. See, our presence in defense, our orders in the defense, which was on the lower side, has gone up in this period, and I am expecting it is going to increase further. And when I talk about the defense, it includes aerospace also. So this area we have a lot of opportunities coming up now. So I'm sure that the type of motivation people have got during this pandemic phase is going to give them the good leverage to the company in the future, and Mihani is going to get benefit of that. So I'll just close here my brief insight, or I'll say that overview of this last financial year, the FY21, and I now hand it over to Abhijit for further proceedings.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Bhagesh Kagalkar from HDFC Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. I need certain clarifications on the order book. Okay, you stated the order position is at 1353 crores. if you can give us a breakup in defense and space segment wise. Also the duration of this order book. And third is, what is the visibility for the order book from the space program, because that has been lagging slightly in last 1.5 years.
First of all, thank you for your very important question. See, whatever we have seen, 1335 crores, I think, is been shown here. Precisely, now it has, of course, increased to 1445 now, when I'm talking to you. But I'll say that percentage-wise, exact breakup I am not having, but what I guess that it will be around 60% we'll have from space, still order is there. And in the balance 40, we are having around 30%, 35% coming from defense, rest others. When I say defense also includes even the PSU also. So wherever we have given our results that PSU some percentage, that PSU also, most of the PSUs, they buy material for the defense applications only. If I say example like our sister concern, Bharat Dynamics Limited, and even Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So these are areas where our presence is there. But as you ask for the visibility of the future order book, see, one very good development has come that the government has given a guideline that the global tender inquiry has to be stopped, especially if the requirement is less than 200 crores. And most of the projects you'll find that material requirements will not be in the range, it will be less than 200 crores. So we are getting a lot of now interest by our defense companies that they are trying to buy the material from us. So I see as the new projects are getting sanctioned. I'll tell you one example. When we are talking about the LCA, the Light Combat Aircraft program, as you are already aware that we have got, HAL has got a very big order on the LCA. And I expect from LCA we are supposed to get a good amount of order. We are in process, and a lot of materials already we have indigenized over the period of last 20 years. So now it is the time that as the production is going up, we are going to get the order. Like that, there are a number of projects. There are some strategic projects which I cannot talk about the name of the project. But for the strategic projects also, now there is an emphasis by the government to expedite. And you know that whatever may be the constraint of the capex, ministry has given a lot of importance on the capex for the defense acquisition. And there they have now declared a lot of platform which India has to indigenize, and indigenous content has to be on the higher side. So even the foreign OEM also is supplying the equipment, 40% minimum IC content is there. In addition to that, if the Indian company is bidding for that, 60% IC content is there. So what I would like to mention here, that indigenization of raw material is also a part of that, and that is where Mithani has a good opportunity. And we expect that as we progress, orders also start going.
So when I meant duration of the orders, means in next 2 years, some orders will come. Plus, some areas that we have mentioned, see, the titanium slab for AMCA project, that will be only for the prototype, I suppose, and the high pressure compressor disc for the jet engines. So that also is a slightly medium or longer duration project.
I'll tell you that AMCA, whatever I have mentioned you are perfectly right. It is a trial project. So AMCA is not only connected to only with this slab. In AMCA, we have a lot of other requirements are also there. So we are getting those things. And in addition to the AMCA, there is one Kaveri dry engine project is there, KD. So there also we are already supplying the materials. Coming to the time scale, the way we have declared earlier that space is giving us order for 2.5 years type. That type of comfort on order nobody is giving. Today, even for the missile requirements, if some material has to be given, we get maximum 1 year to supply. Sometimes you have to go supply within 6 months. Like in case of AMCA, order has come and within 2 months we have supplied the trial quantity. So this all depends on the project based, and project based it depends that how quickly. And raw materials, normally for any project will be decided, but the raw material requirements will be worked out after getting the project sanction. And once the without raw material, nothing will move on the ground. So any buyer for the raw material, they will be seeing that the time required for getting the raw materials should be as less as possible. So we are in that category, and we are also trying to match with coming to their expectations. That's what I can say. So the delivery time and all is today is not important. It is how much order you can execute for a given order, means year, or I say in the month. In that mode we are working.
Thank you, sir. All the best from my side.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jonas Bhutta from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir, and congratulations on a great set of numbers. A couple of questions. Just carry forward from the previous question. If you can give us a breakup of the sales, the revenue mix that you had for the year 2021 in terms of defense, space, and others. And going into FY22, with the current order book of 1,300-1,400 crores, what is the kind of sales target that you would set out for? And the new order acquisition target that you have for FY22? That's my first question, and I'll come back for my second.
First of all, this year, 2021, our sales breakup is we have supplied around 42% for space. Defense has been around 26 plus around 10% more, so around 36% has gone to the defense. Then we have also done 2% exports, very negligible, and energy is 3%. So, and if you compare the same thing for the energy area, it was 10% in the previous year. That was in 1920. So it is changing in that category. And space also, it was there earlier, 57% was there in 1920. Now it is 42%. So that type of fluctuations will be there. And as somebody has, I think you have pointed out about the space going down. Somebody has, not I think by you, but I will like to tell you that if the space is going down, it is not the ISRO. Now they are also going for some sort of a approach where they are going to give this type of satellite launch vehicle manufacturing to the private sector. So there also we are trying to enter in the private sector when they are coming up with, say, initially they are going for the 5 PSLV. So again, Midhani is leading in that. So we are going to get that type of orders in that area. So it is not totally over, but the quantum which we got in the first in 1819 and 1920 was of course bigger and for the long term. But it is a continuous flow is there from the space also. But the defense has picked up in between, and I will tell you that in the future you will find that our defense area, the sales will go and it will take the space sales also. And what about your next question? You talked about what is the visibility for the next year? That means 21-22.
Yes.
21-22, I see our sales will be more or less in the same structure, the way I have shown here for the space, defense, and PSU and export and energy. So in this case, slightly the PSU percentage will go up, because PSU, when we are talking, PSU includes everything, even the defense also, even the energy also, and so both have the combined one in that. So that percentage will be going up. So overall, you will find that distribution will be same. The space will be occupying around 40%, and we will have another 40% in defense, and rest will be export and others. This will be the, I think, distribution when we are talking about them. But defense is the one part. I will say it is a lot of area is there, which includes aerospace, and aerospace is picking up. Aerospace is picking up, and the one example is that the last year we have made the highest turnover in super alloys, nickel-based alloys. You know, nickel-based alloys are mainly used in aero engine application or aerospace application. So it has been on the higher side, and of course some part in export also it has gone. So we have a mixed bag of orders. Recently we have got the order from the railway also, Railway Excel, a trial order we have got, and we are trying to execute. Percentage may not be very high, but it's again a new area where we are going to Indianize. Earlier, now they are strictly importing, so there also we are working. So like that we have so many things, and more than that, this year we are going to start our white plate mill, a very important equipment which I think we are discussing with the investors from so long. And when I hope when I interact with you in the next time, I'll be giving you some figure that what type of business I'm going to do with that facility. But it is on the verge of now getting commissioning going on in that area.
Sir, the revenue mix we understand will remain the same, but will the revenues grow? As in, you've done about 815 crores in 21. What could that be for 22, sir?
Yeah, revenue growth is expected, definitely. I am telling you that we are targeting not less than 900 to 950 crores next year. So that will be is possible to reach to that level as but of course I'll tell you some sort of slowness is there. Again, second wave has disturbed our first quarter, which I was not expecting. All of us were not expecting, but this has really affected our first quarter again, the way we had in the last year. But how quickly we can come back to the normal condition, and then I hope the way we see that third wave is not there, then definitely the performance will be better. Except that if those things are normal, then I don't see any problem in the growth in current financial year also.
Understood. So my second question was on the capex program. So you had targeted about 250-270 crores of capex in FY21. We eventually ended up doing about 150-160. What is our target for the next financial year? And within your sales target of this 900-950, are you including any contribution from the spring plant or the Rohtak plant or from that the bulletproof jacket venture? Just that is my last question. Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, capex which you have seen this year, and you know capex, most of the capex for depends on how we can get our equipment on right time, and most of the equipments was imported source. So there was delay in the delivery. Some of the equipments it was not possible to get in India. Inspection was not possible. We had a very high value equipment. We cannot go and inspect. So these are the conditions which has done a lot of interruptions. Otherwise, our plans were very much in place to reach the capex target of 230 crores. In fact, we have given the ministry that we have cut down to 210 crores. But as you will see that for the next year, FY21-22, also as a scenario is not very bright, because we have started with again a lag of almost 3 months. Initial first quarter got lot of disturbance again in the supply chain side. Equipments were not loaded on the ship, We could not able to receive the equipments early. Something has come now, work is going on, but then people on the down the line got affected with the COVID, and that manpower. Any project is basically the manpower intensive work, and there you need a reasonably good number of people available, and most of them are coming from the outside other states. So it has disrupted. There is a disruption in that. But we are trying, but I hope that now we will not see the next wave of COVID. Then we will be able to reach that target. And this year also, incidentally, we have kept the target of 210 only. But if the things are going to be in the right direction, we will be able to achieve. It's not the thing. Coming from contribution from the spring and white mill, as I said, and Rohtak. Rohtak is for armor. Armor already from last year, if you see, of 2021, we have got a good business from the armor. So some part, I say, the contribution has come from the Rohtak plant also. So even the plant has not been commissioned, but still we did some work there because we received certain critical equipments in this lockdown time also, and we could commission that. So that has helped us in getting order of around a very meager amount, but 10 to 15 crores worth of order we have executed using that facility. So and now also there is a good visibility of the order is there. So I'll be telling you that what is the level, but right now we have around 20-25 crores worth of order is there from armor, and our people are already stationed there, and election commissioning is in full swing. I expect that by September we'll be able to commission that facility, provided we should get the support from the our government, local government, but our people are there, they are working there with them. So it is possible there from maybe this year also to get around 25-30 crores order from the armor. And spring, incidentally, what has happened, the railway has got slightly on the slower path. I cannot give you the figure how much I can get the order, but at least we are trying for a trial order now, so that we can prove our line that everything is all right. And there the problem is that we have 2-3 equipments which has come from the overseas, and we are not able to commission it because again the traveling issue is there with the foreigners. So we are going to sort it out maybe by July. I think it will be over, August, maximum by August. Then that plant also will start. The exact figure is not available, but I expect it will take off in this year.
Sure, sir. Thank you, and I'll come back in the queue.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Himanshu Upadhyay from PGIM. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. My question was, we are trying to get more exports also. How lengthy is the process of getting impaneled or getting the product approval on exports side with the various defense and space companies or whatever the markets we are trying to work on? So can you elaborate the timeline or it takes to get approval in those customers?
We have put very right questions. See what is happening outside. If you have to supply for the defense and aerospace, the certification process is very complex. So what we are doing directly, we are not supplying to any aerospace or defense agencies. We are supplying to some of the dealers or a stockist, so that based on our test result, they sell to the outside people. In addition to that, we are also trying to see that whether we can do some business with the oil and gas industries, because there this approval and all will not be so stringent, and we can able to do that. So there are various means where we are seeing that how the export can be developed. Now, one example I will tell you. Recently, we have got one order from Airbus only for conducting the testing. So I will say it is again a export only, but I am not giving the material to anybody. Rather, their material is coming, I am testing, and I am ordering that money. So like that, then we have supplied one product to in the UK, one university for doing some experimental work. So like that, our different products we are supplying and getting it approved. So and there is another example. We have one MOU also, and we are supplying to a lot of castics of superalloys to a company who is involved in the automobile industry, and quantity is good, very good quantity is there. So like that, we have a different type of visibility is there in the export. And we also trying to get the NADCAP certification. NADCAP is a very important part. Unless you have the NADCAP, you cannot enter in the aerospace with international companies as a supplier of material. So that also we are going ahead with the certification process, and I am sure by this year end that certification also will be over. So that will give us again the leverage.
Would it be right to say that for next 2 years, the capex what we have done or the facilities which are coming up also, our growth will depend majorly on the domestic market only. Exports for next 2 to 3 years remains an exploratory market only. Would that be the right assumption?
I do not see that. I'll tell you one example. Today, I was discussing with some of our marketing person. There is a lot of demand is there for higher width plates of stainless steel. And the plant which we are setting up, white plate mill, is capable to produce that width. If I am able to position that, I am able to capture that market overseas, I can increase the export very well. So, export is already the product, and whatever we are, as I said, for automobile company, their requirement is today they want some material around 10-20 tons per month. Because of capacity concern, I am not able to give 20 tons. I am giving 5 tons only per month. So if I can enhance my capacity, which I am doing now, immediately I can increase my output 4 times. So there are various challenges in the different, depending on the customers and all. So we are working towards that. So both will grow. Domestic consumption also is going to grow, as you know very well with the defense Indianization program, and as well as export also is going to have a very good opportunity. High value item, for which Medan is known.
Okay. That's all from my side. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Abhijit Mitra from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. There are a few questions which have come from the client side, just relaying it out. With a 14% top line growth and, a shift in execution, because from 60% space, it's now 40% space. The gross margin, the EBITDA margin has still increased by almost 250 bips. And this was made possible by a reduction in employee expense and other expense significantly despite such a growth in top line. How much sustainable is it?
Yeah, it's quite sustainable. I'll tell you, it is not only employee expenditure. If you see our raw material also, raw material consumption has been reduced drastically. If I compare with my VOP and raw material consumption, even though in the VOP we have a reduction of around, I'll just see the data, it is around 20% we have a reduction in the VOP. But if you see in the raw material side, we have a reduction of more than almost around 50%. So the reason behind that, we have done a lot of process change and modifications, which is going to help us in the future. And then improving the yield, those things are another support. When you are talking about improving your efficiency and converting in terms of the EBITDA margin and all. So it is there, but I'll tell you that it depends on as we export will be going up, the market is highly competitive. Probably we may not having that much margin. If you have to go for white plate mill operations, the margin may not be so much high in those products, but then the volume will be on the higher side. So this part the industry has to balance depending on that market condition.
Okay. So what would be your guidance? As in, you sort of look at maintaining this margins next year with the 900 to 950 crore top line, or it will be lower?
We will be definitely having around 950, and margin side maybe slightly on the lower side will be there as the product mix is going in the low, where the market is highly competitive. So I cannot predict as such, but there will be some stress on the margin will be there. But at the end of the day, what is your total figure is very important. So and the company has to grow. So this is the one part we have to take that. Because the convention that earlier that only a space has a high margin and defense is only having the high margin, others are not having, may not be true. It depends on the project to project that what is your potential and where you are able to prove that you are exclusive in that product. I think that is the main challenge. And Milani has that type of potential.
Right. The next question is that when will the 500 crores plus capital work in progress get capitalized and commence operations? How will revenue build up on this block, which is expected to have 2x asset return on peak utilization? Essentially, I think what he's asking is that capital work in progress of 500 crores, which is there, when will it get commissioned and commence operations? And what is the expected revenue from this asset which will get commissioned? Yeah.
The major one out of 500 is 460 crores white plate mill, which I have already mentioned that we are going to start commissioning trial from month of August. So the fully it will get commissioned by we have targeting October. So by October 21, I expect that fully it will be commissioned. So the initial 1 and 2 months has to take place for stabilizing the different grades of material, and then after that it will get fully commissioned. So I expect in the last quarter of current financial year, or maybe third also partly, we'll get some business from that facility. That is from 460. The balance, we talked about the armor. Armor also, I said it will be commissioned in the month of, we are trying maximum by December 21, because we had some clearance issue and all, so those things are going on. But of course, we are doing the business from that, even in spite of not getting fully commissioned also, we'll get the business from there. And I expect again in the last quarter we'll get the business from that facility. Third part is the spring. The spring also we expect by December end I should start working. But there only the one problem is that customer being the only one railway, and their requirements has to be seen. And with the change scenario, how much they need the production of coach and all, I do not know how they are going to use their capex and all. But there also we have to look for some export market. But export takes some time to get certified. So I expect there also some business with that, but figure I cannot tell you right now. So this is a nutshell. All three projects are running. In addition to that, we have the augmentation work is going on, and where we are now adding one 8-ton vacuum induction melting, which is going for primary melting. That will also get commissioned in month of October. And we also have one more equipment a skull melting furnace is there, which is used for melting of titanium. That facility also is going to be commissioned by that early next year. So like that, these are the projects which we are going to have. And as we progress and as we get the business, we'll inform you. But this is where one thing. But today I'll tell you on the White Plate Mill, already I have received one order of for 4.8 crores recently. We have booked the order now. And Railway also has shown the interest that moment this mill is ready, they are willing to take almost 10,000 tons plates per annum. So these are the visibilities there. Then we have for armored steel. We are already rolling our margining steel in the Steel Authority of India. They are Rourkela steel plant, Bhilai steel plant. So those things we are going to roll in house. So we'll be saving there also our cost of whatever we are paying for as a job work. So this is the type of visibility is there for the White Plate Mill. So we are in banking on that success of that project very well. It is very high. Our banking is expectations are very high. But let's see how we are able to come, because they are all high tech area where there is a lot of challenges are there in the initial phase of its commissioning and all. So we are working towards that. It's quite a challenging time for us.
Okay, just to add one question here, this White Plate Mill was customer financed and customer funded. So the customers are not putting any orders as of now?
Yeah, as I said, for customer, one order is that plates which we are giving to armored steel, giving to the ordnance factory.
Okay.
Already for ordnance factory, we are making the armored steel elsewhere. So that entire thing will be shifted here now. So that is the one part. And certain projects are strategic project of defense. So there also I am expecting some orders coming from the stakeholder who has funded this equipment. But there is no certainty that I don't want to depend on their orders and then plan my business for this facility. So right from the beginning, our philosophy has been that plan the business based on the market condition. So our people are very much on that job.
Okay, thanks. That's all from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Anuj Sharma from M3 Investment. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I have a few questions. One is you said government is discouraging global tenders for up to 400 crores. If I were to look at the market size today, what would be the market size for which tenders would be raised below 400 crores?
First of all, government is discouraging the tender less than 200 crore. Means less than 200. Beyond 200, you can go for global tender.
Okay, sorry.
One correction I want to make. Second part, what is the market size for that? Is the total, you see the Indian market is mainly for, if you see for the defense requirement. I think there is potential of, as far as the Midhani is concerned, we'll be having around not less than 500 to 600 crores worth of orders. Potential is there. How much we can able to take from that category, we will not know today. It is possible as far as that category is concerned. In addition to that, of course, you have the normal commercial sectors where you can, let's say like railway. Railway also, they also have the same system, whatever I said, global tender. So because of that, railway has already given a trial order of 400 numbers of Excel to Midhani. Now, if I prove that 400 Excels I can supply, and that also on right quality, definitely in the future tender, I can grab the full quantity. These are the potentials are there, and we can go ahead. As far as the other projects are concerned, defense projects are very cyclic in nature. All projects will not be running continuously. One project will be over, second will be there. So you have to target. And materials, one advantage is that there is a lot of common grades are there, which is being used from the project to project. It is not that defense has a separate material, space has a different materials. There is a lot of commonality is there between those organs of organizations or technology where they use the material technology. So we have that advantage. Sure. Midhani has to see in that type of business which area you can take up.
Thank you. And this 500 to 600 you said in defense is in increment to what you are already doing.
Yeah.
Incremental opportunities. Right. Okay. My second question is on the space program. While you said defense is seeing more tractions, but space programs are generally long-term programs. So based on the current launch schedule, which is there, what is the potential which we see from space in the next 3-5 years? Because these will be determined, and we would have fair bit of visibility on that.
Today, I cannot tell about their policy, how they are going to project for next 3 to 5 years. But what, as a material supplier, I see the potential in the space material is for next 2 years. I am not going beyond that. And the next 2 years, whatever the orders now we are holding, we have to execute and complete. And in between, also some orders will be flowing. As I said, now the space has started a program where they are going to give the satellite launch to a private player. And there we have got some interest by the private industries that they are coming forward to join with Midhani and then bid for that rocket launching systems in a space. So we are very much in part of that. How that type of work will grow in the country, what will be their cost advantage, because normally you say the space launch is highly cost competitive area. So, and most of the satellites which India is launching is coming from the overseas. So unless you are having a low cost, you cannot attract the people coming from the outside. So this is, I think there is a potential growth in that sector, I see. But it may take some time. As you said, next 5 years down the line, it is possible that that industry will grow. Potential will be enormous in that area. And since Midhani is being the only company today which has all materials certified for the space application, can get the advantage. But then some new player also can come by that time for the space material production. So basically this field is, I will say, highly challenging, and nobody can predict what will happen for the next 5 years. But the company has to orient itself that they have to think in advance. They have to produce certain grades in advance and then get ready to capture those markets. So we are working, our R&D, if you said this year, we have launched almost half a dozen grades. New grades already we have developed, we have produced and launched in the country. And I see from there I can get some revenue in the future. So there are a number of areas, the growth potential. And Midhani, one advantage is that we have a very good R&D setup, and R&D team is there. They are continuously working and taking new challenges in the materials development.
Yeah. In fact, my third question was on the same lines on R&D. Every year we introduce number of materials, and we mentioned that in our annual report as well. Any target we have that every year, every year we should have this much revenue from the new products or products which were introduced in the past 3 years? Any benchmark we keep for new product introduction or to see the efficacy of new products?
Normally our marketing team will be saying that overall what is the defense program, future program, the space program. That is the one way of doing the development. And more than that also, the users who are going to design the equipment. Let's say, I'll tell you one example. You must have heard about the Astra missile. Astra.
Yeah.
Astra is the one missile which India is already developed, we have claimed. But now we have to make in the production stage and supply. Now in the Astra this year, we have developed the entire material required for the Astra application. Now if the Astra program is there in the country, is coming in the big way, the materials will start flowing from Midhani. Similar way, there is a project called Harina. Some missile program is there. Now there also we are attached right from the beginning. So if there is some development production scale, we will be in that. Akash, already we have supplied a lot of materials, and Akash is being now equipment or the missile to be exported also. We are very much attached to that. So these are the various areas where we have continuously working that how we can get attached to the different programs, supply their materials with the required properties, required qualification, and if those things are already tested and certified, tomorrow you have the potential of business to join with that program. So as the programs are more in the future, requirements are going to go up. That's what I can say.
Right. Thank you for that. And if I may ask, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but for any follow-up, may we request you to rejoin the queue, please. The next question is from the line of Prabir from Ratnavali. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for providing me the opportunity. Sir, as you said that LCA program, AMCA program is coming. So my question, I have two questions. First of all, if I see the LCA program, so total program cost is roughly 48 to 50,000 crores in next 10-15 years maybe. So can you please tell me in percentage type, how much percentage are you expecting over the period of time from this program? And my second question is, like you are one of the company who has a lot of strength in this titanium alloys. So, but then if I see India has a lot of titanium reserves. So if there are a lot of requirement is going forward, so what will restrict other companies for not coming in this area? So maybe you have some competitors going ahead. So I just want to have a clarification on this.
You have touched upon the very important part about last one is about titanium. The first one I will answer first. You have talked about the percentage of materials required for this LCA. Now this light combat aircraft, if you see the material requirement depends on what are the activities country is doing. One thing we have to agree that the entire LCA program, engine is still imported. You know that Aero engine
yes.
is powered by the engine from GE, I think, right? I remember. Now, in case of raw material, engine is very important. Highest, costliest area is the engine. So since engine is made somewhere else and we are only supporting the structural part, the quantity of the material requirement is very less. Otherwise, normally for aircraft industry, if you see, when we say normally, I don't know exact value, but what is my understanding, around 20 to 30% cost will go for the materials, whatever they use. In case of LCA, now the major part engine is from the outside. So I expect every aircraft, once we have seen the material which Midhani is producing, we will have around 25 to 30 crores, 25 crores of material required from indigenous content, and where we are there. So if they take from us, then we will have that much per aircraft. Now they have a plan to manufacture, I think 10 to 15, say around 10 aircraft maybe per annum. So that will be the tune of material requirement around 250 or 200 crores per annum. Now how much they buy from us depends on their requirement in project agency. But we have a very good presence in...
So sorry to interrupt, but your voice is breaking up, sir.
Yeah. Now it's clear?
Yes, sir.
So in addition to that, you have talked about titanium. So titanium, even though India is having a lot of reserves of titanium ores available in the country, but right now we are not having a technology or not having the production capacity for making the titanium sponge. Sponge we are buying still from the outside. We are importing. So sponge to making alloy, Midhani's expertise is that sponge we buy and we do the value addition by different alloying, different combination of metals. We process, we make the components, and then we do the value addition, and that is where we are exclusive in country. Now, if you say that others are going to enter in that area, yes, it is possible. But then today, the business potential is not very attractive. Because since we are having a lot of facilities where we do even steel also, titanium also, superalloy also, so we are able to maintain our.
We request all the participants to please stay connected while we reconnect the management. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the line for the management reconnected. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah. So what we are talking about the titanium. So titanium business has its limited potential today in the country. And since we are doing exclusively that alloying and making different grades, and today the raw material is called the sponge, we are still depending on the outside, overseas, because in India, even though we have a lot of resources, but the type of scale up, you need a very high capacity sponge making facility plant, then only it is economical. Otherwise, already we have one sponge making facility in Kerala, that is called KNML, which has been already established with the support of space. They are not able to compete with the international market because their scale of operation is very less. So people have to come, wait for maybe our consumption of titanium. If it grows in country, then only it will be economically viable for other players to enter and make titanium sponge using titanium raw material, which is available abundantly in the country.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, due to paucity of time, we take one last question from the line of Bodhisattva, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. I thank you for taking my call, and I congratulate the management for the excellent set of numbers. Sir, I have a question regarding this Bhava Kavach, or the bulletproof jacket. Now, in a previous conference call, you had mentioned that if the Rohtak plant becomes fully operational, the company will be able to supply about 30,000 jackets in full production. Now, given the price per jacket of around 1 lakh, that translates to about a revenue of 300 crores. Now, sir, my question is this a distinct possibility once the Rohtak plant comes fully operational? And one more question, if I can please ask, is, sir, what is the quantity of disruption which happened due to the second wave? Thank you very much, sir.
First, you talked about Rohtak facility and the armor production, bulletproof jacket production.
Yes, sir.
Bulletproof jacket production was what we have indicated the capacity. Yes, capacity we can reach to 30,000 definitely, and provided we should get the order of that much quantity, plant can produce. And cost, whatever you have mentioned, is a very some rough estimates you have made. But today the cost is the one part which is the only problem with the Bhava Kavach, because the quality which we supply, the raw material which you use, there the cost reduction possibility is very limited. So we have kept the price at that level. And yes, its importance has been recognized slowly by the users. And as we means establish this facility, I am sure we will be able to capture the good market. Maybe 10,000 to the beginning, 5,000 also. Right now also we are having the order for 5,000 jackets, which we are executing now without support of full support of Rohtak. But when the Rohtak is there, we will enhance that capacity also. But we are not looking only for the Indian market. Overseas also it is possible to export in the outside. That also we have a lot of work we are doing with our embassy in the different countries, especially in the African countries and all. So let's see how it is going to unfold in the market. But first I have to demonstrate my capability and also the capacity. Then only I can comment on this orders. And that once the order is coming, we will fully execute that. Second part, you have talked about the effect of COVID second wave. In fact, I will say that this wave has given the more impact compared to the last year, which we got a disruption of around 45 days lockdown. Because here, this time, we are not having fully lockdown also, and we had a lot of sufferings for the people, which all of us are aware. So psychologically, by their motivation-wise, by virtue of a lot of incident happening around, people have very difficult times. So it took some time for them to recover back, and they are recovering. So I say that this quarter impact of second wave will be seen in the performance. But the way it was last time we have come back, similar level again we have to restart in the second quarter also. Because I know that last time people were already sitting at home and in complete lockdown situation, and they were trying to plan their work, they are trying to accumulate their energy and not having so much incident around. So when they came and they joined, they worked with a lot of dedication and they have put very much good effort, and we got the results. This year still to be seen, I'll tell you, but we are hopeful. We are not having a pessimistic view, but optimistically I feel that definitely they will do better than the previous year.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I now hand the conference over to the management for their closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Okay. What I say that we had a very good question and answer session, and once again I thank all the investors for reposing faith in Minhani's system, and I am sure that with your support and customer support and with the employees' commitment and dedication, we will be serving this nation and customers and stakeholders effectively and investors in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of ICICI Securities Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you all for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.